Robert Fico's attempt at blackmail has failed. The Slovak state company SAPS will continue to supply electricity to Ukraine, according to the contract signed with the Ukrenergo. This includes the delivery of up to 150 megawatts of electricity as part of emergency aid to Ukraine.
SEPS also ensures the cross-border transmission of electricity through high-voltage lines. In the first 11 months of last year, Slovakia's net electricity export to Ukraine reached net electricity exports from Slovakia to Ukraine and reached 2,400 terawatt-hours, which is 3.5 times higher than the amount for the same period in 2023, stated in a Slovak state-owned company SEPS, quoted by Aeroshlas.
Earlier, Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico demanded that Ukraine resume the transit of Russian gas or compensate for losses amounting to around 500 million euros. He threatened that Slovakia would stop supplying electricity and reduce payments for Ukrainian refugees.
On behalf of Smer SD, I announce that we are ready to negotiate within the coalition to hold electricity supplies and significantly reduce support for Ukrainian citizens residing in the Slovak Republic.
In response, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stated that Fico's threats were an attempt to implement yet another plan by Kremlin to open a second energy front.
We remind Fico that firstly, supporting criminal Russian aggression is absolutely immoral. Secondly, Fico's short-sighted policy has already left the people of Slovakia without compensation for the loss of Russian gas transit and may also leave the people of Slovakia without at least $200 million annually, which Ukraine pays for imported electricity. Any arbitrary decisions in Bratislava or orders from Moscow to Fico regarding electricity will not lead to a halt in electricity imports to Ukraine, but they could definitely lead to a break between the current Slovak government and the European community. Volodymyr Zelensky, President of Ukraine, on social network X.
The gas crisis predicted by the Slovak Prime Minister as a result of cessation of Russian gas transit to Europe through Ukraine has not happened. The only consequence that Fico lost income from supplying Russian gas to neighboring countries, as reported by Politico.
In reality, Europe has long diversified its energy sources to mitigate risks associated with supply disruptions and cancellations. Over 3 years of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, this issue has been resolved. What Fico is doing is creating a scandal. Slovakia, like other EU countries, has already found alternatives. But Fico's goal is to preserve gas transit, which primarily benefits Russia.
However, playing into Putin's interests may backfire on Fico, according to experts.
Fico's rhetoric is purely electorally motivated, from the perspective of potential early election in Slovakia, which may be triggered by incidents involving certain lawmakers, especially from the Slovak National Party, who could exit the coalition and put Fico's government at risk.
Fico's pro-Russian policies have also sparked disconnect among Slovak citizens. 4,000 people took to the streets in Bratislava, protesting outside the government building. Demonstrators carried signs reading "Betrayal" and "Fico moved to Moscow." The organizers accused the Prime Minister and his coalition partners of wanting to hand Slovakia over to Moscow and call on the opposition to unite. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.